Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, everyone, for coming and listening to our presentation. Rachel already mentioned that topic. We are here to show you also with a small demo how Snowflake and Dataiku can really help you to leverage generative AI to implement some of your use cases in your organization. First of all, why are we here together? For those of you who don't know Snowflake, we are one of the data management leaders in the market, and Dataiku is one of our strongest partners, especially when it comes to AI, machine learning, analytics in general. I think Partner of the Year for 3 times for AI and ML topics. So really strong partnership, and I'm really pleased to be here together with Sofian. The Snowflake evolution started about 10 years ago. And for those who don't know it that much in detail, I give you a little bit of context before we dive into the core topic of today's presentation. 2014, public clouds were on the rise. And our founders recognized that there's not a single data management platform on the market that really understands public cloud infrastructures and how to leverage the benefits of public clouds for data management. So things like elastic scalability, unlimited scalability, pay for only what you use, these kind of public cloud metrics that come to mind when you think about all these hyperscalers, they haven't been available with all the traditional data management solutions on the market. So what they did, they created the company. They started with a blank whiteboard, drawing some ideas, and defined a brand new architecture. And the brand new architecture was really about separating the storage layer from the compute layer to give you all the benefits for your data management use cases. No matter if it's data warehousing, if it's a data lake, if it's a combination of a data warehouse and a data lake, call it a data lakehouse or however you want to call it. All these use cases were from the beginning in the idea of our founders, and this is the start from the Snowflake journey. Over time, we also understood that the traditional data management use cases like data warehousing and data lakes are not the limit, but companies want to do more and more collaboration with data. They don't see data any longer as a closed ecosystem, but data needs to be shared between departments in the organization, between partners in a wider ecosystem, between different companies, for example, in the supply chain or so. So data collaboration is becoming more and more important. So this was our second innovation step, I would say. And nowadays, and this is also the reason why we are here together, it's really about artificial intelligence, generative AI, and how can companies use these new technologies to bring their own data and analytics strategy to the next level. We are here on an AI conference, so I don't have to explain you about the importance of AI. But what we at Snowflake think is that generative AI is really existential. We heard it this morning in the presentation from Deloitte. It's not a question of how you do it or when you do it and if you do it. It's really a question of how you do it and what's the impact for you as a company. If you don't think about generative AI and how you can leverage it for your use cases, be sure your competitors do so, and they might gain a competitive advantage over you. So really take this serious. It's important. We also heard that Germany is a little bit behind in the adoption, but the move, the speed of innovation here is immense, and we can see a lot of interesting benefits and ideas around that. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, says about their models that it's not like a fact database, but it's really much more about reasoning. Sure, we heard this morning that AI is not yet there to really make a proper human-like reasoning, but it moves in this direction. So don't see AI as regular evolution of fact databases, making decisions based on data that it's stored as it is and just combining the different attributes or dimensions with each other. But find correlations, make connections between the data that are not that obvious. Use cases that we see, and we heard quite a few of them already this morning, and also seen another use case in the presentation from Marco Polo just now. Just to repeat them, yeah, conversational co-pilots can be an interesting use case. I believe that all of you have kind of an analytics solution already in place. You have your data management solution, you have your analytics tools, BI tools, whatever. I believe that generative AI can make your analysts much more productive if they have a co-pilot, if they get some hints in which direction to do the discovery with the data to look for. So that's definitely a use case where you can see a lot of advantages when it comes to productivity of your analysts. Yeah, train your employees, educate your employees. Therefore, artificial intelligence, Gen AI, can also be a good accelerator, a good tool. And finally, document analysis and summarization. What we see, for example, at Snowflake, there are insurance companies, for example, that need to scan tons of documents, traditional written letters, understand them, analyze them, tag them to analyze them in a structured way. And these are processes that you can automate very easily also with AI solutions. And we as Snowflake have their solution called Document AI that does exactly this task. So what does this mean now in detail? How do you leverage Gen AI, large language models, with Snowflake? First of all, and this is also a repetition of what we heard already, the AI strategy needs to be closely connected with the data strategy. At the end of the day, AI and the quality of the analysis of the decisions or of the recommendations highly depend on the underlying data. You can get the large language models from outside of your organization, but all these models know is more or less public domain knowledge. They don't know anything about your confidential information from within your organization. So AI can only work for you if you combine the AI models with the data that's in your organization. So you really need to bring the models to your data, enrich the models with your data, and then you get the benefit out of it. If you see the AI models just as a standalone solution, you will very likely not succeed in really getting to where you need to go. So AI strategy needs to be closely tied together with the data strategy. Before Sofiane shows you a small demo, I give you a brief architecture insight into how AI models can be deployed in Snowflake. As mentioned, Snowflake is a data management solution, compared like a database. And what we do is we offer container services in Snowflake. So you can take whatever LLM model that's on the market, can be public open source models like the Llama model from Meta or others, or can be proprietary models like models from NVIDIA. We heard this name this morning already as well. Deploy those models in a container in your Snowflake environment. So bring the model to your data. Don't move your data out of your organization, out of your protected infrastructure, but bring the model to your data, enrich the model, do some feature engineering, and then leverage the quality, the power of the model with all the public domain know-how, plus the expertise about your data to get the real value out of it without, again, sending any of your data outside of your protected environment, because I think this is absolutely crucial to be enterprise ready, compliant with all the regulations and stuff like that. So this is our approach. This is how we do it. Very brief at a glance. And with that, over to you, Sofiane.
Thank you, Thomas. Can you hear me all? Good morning. It's nice to see you all. I know we're getting close to lunchtime. It's difficult. Demo, but a demo worth potentially millions in euros in ROI for most of you. I'm not joking. I am very serious. Before that, Gen AI indeed is a revolution in AI and data science and in the business world. What it hasn't changed, though, is the need for control. Right? For the past decade, we've been striving to unleash the true power of AI without losing control. And a lot of organizations have been struggling in this. And we know very well because we've been speaking to them for the past 10 years. So how do I truly deploy hundreds of models of production when I only have a team to maintain 20 models in production? How do I tap into my petabytes of customer data when I'm not able to do GDPR correctly or protect personal information? So does that mean we don't do AI? No, of course not. We open our Dataiku instance and we get to work. And this is truly what the Dataiku LLM mesh is going to resolve for generative AI, for which this need for control is even bigger. We want to be able to unleash the true power of generative AI across, across the organization without losing control. And LLM Data Mesh is going to allow you to leverage generative AI with protecting your PII, being able to share the insights generated from your LLM models across the organization, and on top of that, monitor the performance and the relevance of your LLMs over time, and not just one, but as many as you need over time. And Snowflake perfectly fits into that LLM mesh picture, and this is what we're going to see right now. So, bit of a diagram slide here. We will get started with Snowpark ML. We would deploy a open source LLM such as Falcon or Llama 2 into Snowpark container services. That means that that's the first step towards you privatizing the LLM, making a private LLM, a public LLM private within your Snowflake account. And then the second step is going to be, like Thomas mentioned, to put this LLM, private LLM, within a workflow, a Dataiku workflow. So we're going to connect to that with Dataiku. We're going to throw data, the LLM. We can throw some prompts as well. We're going to see that in a second. And we're going to make this a workflow with some data preparation step. We can create a web app on top of it so that people can interact with the LLM in a safe manner. And all of that in a way that is PII compliant and protective. So we're going to start with that $1 million use case. And you will see that I was not lying. If we take a bank and a customer service agents and a data set or database of all of the calls transcripts of that bank, and for a lot of you, you have a customer service as well, we know how vital and paramount customer satisfaction is. And here, we're going to have transcripts of that data. And so what we want to do here is to be able to get some information from that. So I assume we're all customers of banks in this room. So you call your bank, you open an account, you want to make a bank transfer, you want to inquire about services from the bank. All of that is going to be in call transcripts. What we want to do is leverage the power of LLMs to generate some insights from every single call. What was the call about? Was the issue resolved? What was the sentiment in the call? And not just at the individual call level, but of course, if we have the individual data, we can aggregate all of this into dashboards. If he wants to click, yes. So what I was talking about, how we can leverage LLMs, generate insights, and share them with the organization. And on top of that, we also want to make sure that the LLM is going to be monitored. Its relevance and performance is going to be monitored over time. So why not sending a Slack message to the customer service agent so that he can rate the LLM summary of the call? What is the best way to do that? So on one hand, the LLM is going to help the customer service to improve. On the other hand, the customer service is going to help the LLM to improve. Human-machine symbiosis, how beautiful is that? And so how do we do this? Well, in all of that, we do have a problem, which is, what about our PII? We talk about our names, we give our address, social security number, bank details. We cannot expose this information to the customer service agents in those Slack messages. So how do we do that? So that's when the power of Dataiku and Snowflake combined in this LLM mesh comes into play. So I'm going to start this video recording. We're going to start with our raw data, which is here on the left. This is raw data with all of the PII. So it has names, it has addresses, it has all of this. It's stored in Snowflake. What we're going to do here is flag this data set as GDPR sensitive in Dataiku. That's a Dataiku feature. And then we're going to leverage a Python notebook with this Presidio library from Microsoft to remove PII from data. The output is going to be stored here in the middle. And then what we want to do is to push that data to another Snowflake database to which we've been given access to a different set of people, in this case, the customer service agent, thus protecting the PIIs. And then we're going to ask the data scientists to use Dataiku Prompt Studio and the private LLM that we created earlier directly in the interface. Now, the LLM is going to be asked, what is the call, topic of the call? Is the issue resolved or not? What is the sentiment in the call? And just like that, it's going to start being able to score all of the new customer service interactions leveraging LLM in a way that is fully PII compliant or privacy compliant, let's say. And then we will create a scenario in Dataiku where we will send a Slack summary to the person that needs to receive it. We are going to signify to the person, this is generated by LLM, please review the scoring. And then we're going to click on the link into Dataiku. We're going to be able to give feedback on the scoring. Was the topic well detected? Was it resolved or not? Sentiment, is it correctly assessed? And this will fit back into the LLM, thus complying with PII, sharing and monitoring of the performance of the model, and continuous improvement of the LLM as well. $1 million insights there across the organization, LLM generated. So I did not lie to you guys. I did gift you millions of euros before lunch. You're welcome. And that's it. So in summary, the value prop of LLM Mesh is going to be the ability to protect your PII, unleash the power of generative AI while keeping control, while remaining compliant, sharing your insights across the organization, and make sure that and ensure that your models are going to be evolving over time and their performance is going to be monitored.
Thank you.